Today, we're going to finish taking a look at the best LEGO Ninjago sets from every year. In the previous 2 videos, I covered seasons 1 through 12, so now we'll look at the last 6 seasons. And you won't want to miss the crazy new sets I talk about at the end of the video. Let's go! Season 13 was Master of the Mountain, and it was released in June of 2020. This season took the ninja deep into the caves below Shintaro, and as usual we got a heap of sets to accompany it. There are some great ones in this wave, like the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, which is quite large and looks awesome, but I think the best has to be the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. This is one where the figures are just okay. You get Hero Lloyd, Hero Cole and Hero Jay, as well as a Muntz, Gekkel and a Black Skeleton, so a nice mix of bad guys. But the Skull Sorcerer himself and Princess Vonia are the real heroes of the set for me. The build here is very fun, with this complex mechanism linked to the hanging cage on the right, and this set has both the Blades of Deliverance, with one up the top and one inside here. All the sets in this wave connect in a board game, which I've honestly never even tried to play, but even if you have no interest in the game, they are all very cool sets to display. It was interesting to see a whole wave of sets dedicated to taking place underground, and the last thing I expected to see in Ninjago was a Mino. This season, in my opinion, is one of the better Wild Brain era ones. Next is Season 14, The Island, or just The Island, depending on who you ask. I consider it Season 14, but it really is up to personal preference. There were only 4 sets for The Island, being Lloyd's Jungle Chopper, Zippy the Dragon, the Catamaran one, and the Keeper's Island. My choice goes to the Keeper's Island simply because I prefer landmass builds. There's some fun traps over on the right, and then there's a tiki structure here that can be separated. The main build does look pretty cool, though I think it could have warranted being a bit bigger. And a few more minifigures would have been nice. The ones included are Kai, Jay, Cole, Chief Mammotus and another purple guy. The Island Ninja are all pretty cool as far as ninja suits go, but it's tragic Zane and Nia got cheated out of headbands. At least Nia got one later that year, but poor Zane is still headbandless to this day. Next is Seabound, which is Season 15 according to me, and this one took the ninja underwater. At this point the ninja team has been underwater, on an island, underground, on another island, in the air, in multiple other realms, in a desert, and on yet another island. How long until we get a full season in space, honestly? Anyway, the best set of this season is the Hydro Bounty. Even 10 years in, they are still finding new ways to reimagine the iconic ship, and this one actually makes the most sense, since the bounty is originally a boat anyway. This set is cool for a few reasons. Firstly, ninja water vehicles are not super common, at least not compared to land and air vehicles, and this set ended up being much longer than I had imagined, and it has some very cool play features, like this mech that is sneakily attached to the front. Though my favourite fact is that it comes with every scuba ninja, which saves you buying the other sets. Though if you want NRG Nia and Benthamar, you do need the Temple of the Endless Sea. This is a very unique set out of an honestly forgettable wave. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, please consider leaving a like or a comment. Thanks. Then there was Ninjago Core, which spanned 2 waves across 2022 and 2023, so I'll pick a best set from each wave. I want to give an honourable mention to the Ninja Dojo Temple, which is a nice set as far as temples go, but the clear 2022 winner has to go to Lloyd's Legendary Dragon. This thing looks incredible. The shaping on the torso is phenomenal and very unique, and the moulded head looks vastly better than a brick-built one ever could, and the wings on this are very nice. The only letdown with this set is the minifigures. The core ninja are fine figures, but they're the exact same in every set, and there's lots of them. This Lloyd alone appears in 10 different sets. Though long story short, Lloyd's Legendary Dragon looks cool, and I regret not getting this. And the winner of the 2023 core wave goes to Jay's Titan mech. I think statistically Jay receives the least amount of mechs out of anyone. Kai has had like 10 or 11 mechs, meanwhile Jay has had about 4, including this one, and poor Zane has only had 3. If there's one thing this set proves, it's that even after 12 years of making the same thing over and over, there's still new ways to do it. My favourite part of this set has to be the swords attached to his leg holster, and the figures in this one are also just fine. I think Jay's core suit is actually the best from that wave, though this was definitely a missed opportunity to include a mech pilot suit for Jay, just like Lloyd in another set this wave, though overall this one is pretty solid. Then we move on to Season 16, Ninjago Crystallized, the final season of Ninjago. Whilst the season sort of went downhill towards the end, at least the poster looks cool. Hey, that kind of reminds me of another famous poster. Despite the show being lackluster, the sets this season were all very impressive. I liked all the vehicles even if I couldn't tell what they actually were, and the Crystal King and his temple looked great. The Golden Ultra Dragon is great, though my favourite has to be the Samurai X mech. This thing is so cool, and it is so big as well, it towers above almost every other mech, and the colour scheme is amazing. Though as with most sets, the minifigs are what make or break it, and in this case they definitely make it. You get the Goat Pythor in his first set appearance since 2019, and his first show appearance since 2016. You get the second appearance of the Mechanic, as well as Oni Garmadon, a new Wu, a new Lil Nelson, a new Samurai X Nia, Jay, and a Crystal Warrior. And once again, the box art looks phenomenal. This set is probably one of the greatest ninja mechs out there. And now we move on to one of the most recent Ninjago installments, Dragonsrising. Dragonsrising was a new Ninjago series, and it's basically like Ninjago 2.0. Despite being a new show, however, it is in essence the same show, featuring the same characters, the same cast, and pretty much the same animation style, just a bit better than last season. However, the episodes are back to being 22 minutes long, which was a very welcome change. And not to insult anyone, but the writing feels a lot better to me than the previous few seasons, though those are just my views on it. As usual, the sets rock. This time there were 14, which was the biggest wave in quite a while, and they are all pretty good. I think the Temple of the Energy course is one of the best. This is what I was saying before about the temples getting better, this one just looks incredible. The best, however, has to be Ninjago City Markets. I know I've already had 2 Ninjago City sets on this list, but they just knock it out of the park every time. Even the objective worst one, the Ninjago City Docks, is still great in its own right. My favourite is still the original city, but the markets here is a pretty close second. Though I've talked about it so much at this point, if you want to see more about it, go watch my own review or one of the hundreds out there by other YouTubers. And as an extra note, I really like how all the boxes this season have different coloured backgrounds. No matter how bad a set is, the box art is always incredible. And finally, we are at 2024, with Dragonsrising Season 2, or Season 18 if we count every season before it. There have already been 16 sets released, with a further 6 coming next month, making this the biggest Ninjago wave in years. At the initial time of writing, the June sets had not been released, but in the time between me writing it and now revising the script, they have been revealed. And I've got to say, it is a tough choice between the Source Dragon of Motion, Cole's Titan Dragon Mech, and the Tournament Temple City. Though since I had already written it out, I'll stick with my first choice, which was the Dragonstone Shrine. I was just praising the Temple of the Dragon Energy course before, and it turns out both of these sets were designed by a Lego designer named Chi Wing Lee. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. You can tell that he put a ton of effort into making these sets, as everything flows so smoothly and looks incredible. I especially love the water on the Dragonstone Shrine, that is very reminiscent of the Ninjago City modules, and I was so happy to see this now decade-old piece in a trans colour, which I'd never seen before. The figures in this set are also great, and I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but yet again the box art is just so incredible, and I truly can't wait for the June sets to release. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you to everyone who stuck around for the entire 3-part series. Click here if you would like to see the worst Ninjago sets, and let me know what you would like to see from me next in the comments. That's been all for today, folks. Have a great day, and see you next week.